Lesson 6.6, Adding and Subtracting Mixed Numbers. In today's lesson, we're going to discuss how to do this with unlike denominators. So let's go ahead and get started. In this particular problem, I have two mixed numbers, 1 4/5 plus 2 1/10. And in order for me to add them, I'm going to need to find common multiples so I can change the denominator so that they are the same. So let's go ahead and set this up a little bit larger. And I'm going to ask myself, can 5 ever become 10? And the answer is yes. If I multiply this 5 by 2, it will become a 10. And so whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. And so my new mixed number would be 1 8/10 plus 2 1/10. And then I can simply go ahead and add. I start with my fraction part, and so 8 plus 1 equals 9. My denominator stays the same. And then I add my whole numbers. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And then I have to check to see if I can simplify this answer. And in this case, I cannot, and so I would leave it as 3 9/10. Let's take a look at a subtraction problem. You would have to do the same thing when you want to subtract. So I want to make sure I get that common denominator set before I do anything else. And so I would ask myself, can 4 ever become a 6? No. And so this is when I would take the time to figure out a common multiple. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 6, 12. I see that 12 is a common multiple for each one. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 because that's what would get me 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. In this case, 4 times 3 would give me 12, and so whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And then I'm going to write my new mixed numbers. So in this case, I would have 4 10/12 minus 2 9/12. When I am subtracting, I like to set this up vertically, so if I have to regroup, I'm able to do so. Just like I did with addition, I'm going to go ahead and subtract the fraction part first. 10 minus 9 equals 1. My denominator stays the same. 4 minus 2 equals 2. So my new answer is 2 1/12. I would check to see if I need to simplify, and in this case, I do not. What you're going to do is get a new set of notes, so open to a brand new page. Our title for this is How to Add Mixed Numbers, and the example I'm going to be using is 5 3/4 plus 1 1/3. Step 1. Find the common denominator for each mixed number. Use common denominator and write new mixed number. So you're going to copy down the step, and we're going to follow the example. Hopefully. All right, there we go. So I'm going to ask myself, can 3 ever become a 4? And the answer is no, it cannot. So I'm going to go ahead and list my multiples off to the side, and I'm going to determine what multiple I'm going to use. In this case, I see that 12 is the common denominator, and so that's what I want to change my denominator to. So 4 times 3 equals 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And I rewrite my mixed number. So my whole number stays the same. 9 12 plus 1 4/12. Once you have that copied down, continue to hit play. Alright, step 2, now I simply have to add. Again, I'm going to start with my fraction. So 9 plus 4 equals 13. My denominator stays the same. And then I add the whole numbers. 5 plus 1 equals 6. And so I have 6 13/12. Once you have that copied down, continue to hit play. Alright, step 3, I need to change improper fractions if needed, and then I add that to my answer. So in this case, 13/12 is an improper fraction. And so I want to ask myself, how many times can I pull the number 12 out of here? Well, in this case, I can pull the number 12 out one time. And so I'm going to add that to my whole number, so that becomes 7. And then I'm going to take my remainder, that becomes my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. So in this case, my new answer will be 7 and 1/12. Once you have that copied down, continue to hit play. Alright, so step 4, simplify answer if needed. In this case, 7 1/12 is simplified, so I do not need to do anything else to it. Once you have that copied down, continue to hit play. Alright, our second page of notes today is going to be how to subtract mixed numbers. So in this case, I have 5 and 1/3, and I'm subtracting 1 and 3/4. So step 1 is the same as it was in addition, so I'm going to copy that down with the example. Once you have that copied down, continue to hit play. Alright, so I listed the multiples earlier for 3 and 4, so I'm going to repeat that again here. Since 3 can't become a 4, I'm listing the multiples, and I'm going to find that 12 is the common multiple for these two numbers. And that's what I want to change my denominator to. So 3 times 4 gives me 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 4 times 3 gives me 12. Again, whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And so my new mixed numbers will be 5 and 4/12 minus 1 and 9/12. Once you have that copied down, continue to hit play. Alright, step 2, I want to subtract my mixed numbers. In this case, I've already set this up vertically since I will be subtracting. And I'm going to look, can I subtract 4 from 9? And the answer is no, I cannot. And so I need to regroup this mixed number. So I'm going to break apart one of these wholes, so this becomes a 4. Since my denominator is 12, I'm going to add 12 to this. And so that my fraction will now read 16/12. Now I can subtract 16 and 9. Well, 16 minus 9 equals 7. My denominator stays the same. And then I would subtract my whole numbers. 4 minus 1 equals 3. And so my new answer would be 3 and 7/12. Once you have that copied down, continue to hit play. And then last, simplify answer if needed. In this case, 3 and 7/12, it's already simplified, so I do not need to do anything else to it. Once you have that copied down, continue to hit play. Okay, you have a test prep question today, so we're gonna copy this. We're gonna copy this down into our math notebook. Yolanda walked 3 6/10 miles, then she walked 4 1/2 more miles. How many miles did Yolanda walk in all? What I want you to do is set up your equation. I want you to follow the steps that we practiced today and select your answer. Once you have this completed, continue to hit play. Okay, finally, here is our essential question again. How can you add and subtract mixed numbers with unlike denominators? I want in your own words to explain to me how you would set up a problem and complete this. I look forward to discussing this with you in groups tomorrow.